So team playing as the dual monarchy and divergences, which got a little bit of an interesting start position. We're going to be clicking to support the anglois here. Supporting either the French or English is way easier. It makes the start kind of easy, but if you try to support the anglois, it's a pretty hard challenge to complete this in time and also not fall to total revolution, which if you get this, it's very bad. All your states secede except for the anglois states. Not exactly what you would like to see. Anyway, we're going to start out by researching central archives into pharmaceuticals, I think, because we have outmoded bureaucracy at the start, because yeah, I think the dual monarchy is kind of the equivalent of the Ottoman Empire in this alternative timeline, so we've got all the terrible modifiers. We need to complete Lancine regime. In my first try, I actually didn't realize this is a journal entry because it's not auto-starred, but we do need to get off of hereditary bureaucrats and land-based taxation in order to fix this. So we'll probably get off of one of those very quickly. Maybe we start the game with the passing of per capita. That seems pretty good. We're also going to have to go up on taxes and stuff because we do start the game in a giant deficit. So we're going to try our best to get out of that, but actually, let's not do grain because don't want to target the lower class quite that much. Or no, we kind of actually have to because we need to have a good positive balance. I want to add some more construction and stuff because yeah, we need to actually have an economy. Ideally, you'd want to try to attack Provence, but Burgundy seems kind of likely to join that. They've got +4 relative preference. So instead, I think Plantagenet is going to be a decent first war, since no one no one important can intervene. I guess Venice could technically intervene, but they actually would prefer to intervene on our side, so that doesn't seem like too large of a problem. We're gonna mobilize this 50 stack. We're gonna disband this 8 stack navy as well, and we're gonna use this for a naval invade. We'll also, I guess, put on extra supplies because we want to actually succeed in our landings. And then we'll add in some extra war goals to try to make Plantagenet back down in case they will, because that's going to be better for us, of course. Also, I'm going to delete our power block we start the game out with because it's a military treaty, and Sovereign Empire power blocks are usually the best type of power block, so we're going to reform a sovereign empire. I think it's usually optimal to reform whatever power block you start the game with into a sovereign empire. Now, this is the reason that it's hard to play the dual monarchy on the anglois path. You get 20% French, English, and Provençal radicals, which is a lot of people. We go from having 4 million radicals to 9 million radicals, which, means we've got turmoil in like half our country, equal to like 35% or something, which is very bad. You do not want to have 35% turmoil in the middle of February 1836. We can sway the armed forces to Anglois supremacist, I guess, but that's not going to help out too much. Let's actually bring in the armed forces in the government right now and do that. That will help out a little bit, but it's not going to be too much. We do get a little bit more Anglois ideology points. By the way, we do need to be earning around 3 per year or 3 per month for the entirety of the duration of this in order to complete this before it times out. And we need this to be like under 0.5 at like all times pretty much, or if it goes above 0.5, we need to be able to get it down significantly below that afterwards. I'm going to try to import artillery from a bunch of people because we lack a ton of artillery in our market for some reason. Anyway, the war has begun. I'm going to start a naval invasion on their capital, and hopefully we'll be good in. They do have a significantly smaller army, but we do have the naval invasion penalty. And then we get these random events here. We have to choose between French Provençal radicals or English radicals, and we also can get Anglois ideology via some of these. Now, I think we need to choose the less radicals rather than the Anglois ideology, at least until total revolution is gone, because total revolution, if this hits 100, you've basically lost the game. Not only because even if you win that war, it bricks all your subjects, makes them all go independent, which is completely unacceptable. So we're just going to not take as many radicals as possible. Deep bourgeoisie are petitioning migration controls. I think we can offer them laissez-faire. I think there's a good chance we can pass that in the next 5 years. They want us to declare a rivalry with Venice. Who's in this? Landowners are into this, so we're definitely following it because we want more landowner approval for passing stuff that the landowners disapprove of. Well, it's another event, but this time both give roughly the same number of radicals because we've got 10 million English, we've got like 7 million French and 6 million Occitans or Provençals. So these will roughly equal out to the same number of radicals. I don't actually know what the best option is going to be here. I think that maybe choosing the lower, trying to spread out our radicals is probably better. I'm not 100% sure about that though. So a bunch of our pops have died here and they failed to land Plantagenet. But what we're going to do is just split off 25 line infantry from our other big army and 25 mobile artillery. and then start a new landing. And hopefully this time, since we killed a bunch of their troops, we should have better luck trying to get in. We'll just make sure to give these guys extra supplies and stuff, and we should be good to win. Dang, our Anglois guy died, so that's gonna lower. Oh, he's now a Republican as well. That's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna hurt our Anglois ideology progress a little bit. Okay, our old ruler has died, and we got Elizabeth Plantagenet as our new ruler. So there's some upsides and downsides to this. The downside is legitimacy. Legitimacy is far worse on the industrious ruler because they don't even have a party right now. But the upside is we should get a jump in SOL by roughly 1 because our old ruler had the cruel trait, which gives -1 SOL, which is always not something you want to see. We should be landing into Plantagenet pretty soon here, which will be nice. We got this event here. We can get 0.5 extra Anglois ideology points per month, which is essential to get this because we're currently getting 2.9. We need to be getting roughly 3.1 on average throughout the entirety of this in order to get enough. And it's just not really practical to do that without clicking this. Unfortunately, this is going to lead to a huge increase in our turmoil. You can see right now we're getting what, like 0.55 turmoil worth for this total revolution thing. And now that's going to be like 0.6 something. Pretty bad. It's not as bad as I thought actually, but it's still definitely not ideal. Anyway, we do actually need to peace out with Plantagenet before they lose all their states to liberate Louisiana, because that is going to take like their entire east coast. So we'll just take Plantagenet Protectorate, and then we'll start improving relations with them. They'll help speed up our time to get a mandate. Yeah, I just passed per capita taxation. That earns us quite a bit more money. Yeah, we're running like a 30k positive balance now, which is nice. Now we're gonna start passing appointed bureaucrats next. It's not like an amazing law necessarily, but what is pretty amazing is getting rid of l'ancien regime, which is giving us -25% bureaucracy and -25% taxation capacity, which is very painful. So we need to get rid of that ASAP. Also, I think we're gonna try to swap up to standardized filing systems. Looks like it decreased our balance a little bit, but it should be fine because it will give us a huge amount of extra bureaucracy. So we just completed the atmospheric engine. Guess we'll take the tech progress on water tube boiler. We're actually running a paper shortage now, so I guess we'll start building a load of paper mills, and in the meantime, we're going to import paper from just about everyone on the planet. So the Duchy of the Rhine is trying to break away from Burgundy. We're going to use this as a great opportunity to support them in exchange for Picardy, which, you know, it's a great state that must become part of mine. Oh, Bohemia also supported them. That's nice. Yeah, with all three of us, it should be a very easy war, because I'm pretty sure even just us in the Duchy of the Rhine will have a pretty easy time defeating Burgundy, because I think even us alone can already beat Burgundy. They've got 3,100 power protection, we've got 3,500, so I guess it's pretty close, but with the Rhine's 1,000, it's not too bad. We've got a pretty big advantage. Okay, well, I clearly shouldn't have accepted that PB petition for laissez-faire, because we're not going to get it in time, unfortunately. We do want to get it at some point, but just now is not the right time to accept that petition whenever we accepted that, clearly. Oh yeah, Belgium declared war on us, I guess. There's this weird thing where they can declare war without a diplo play. Just starts a war. Same thing happens with Tuscany. We definitely need to take the reduction in Anglo ideology, not the radicals, because we cannot take radicals right now. We need to start getting this total revolution stuff to drop more, because it's going way too much right now. Okay, we just enacted appointed bureaucrats, and that completes the l'ancien regime, giving us tons of taxation capacity. I think now basically our entire country should be within tax capacity. We're now running positive 30k balance and positive 20k reinvestment, which is what we definitely want to see. Also, we just got pharmaceuticals, actually. That's very nice. We'll start going water tube into railways, I guess. Yeah, that seems actually fine, because I don't think we're lacking infra that badly right now. And we're going to start passing public health insurance, and then religious schools, and then laissez-faire. And those are all three pretty important law enactments we need to get done. Also, I think we have to lower taxes right now, because this total revolution thing, it's really bad. We need to try to get it solved. Is it seriously only giving us... No, now it's updated to -0.11. That's a little bit better. We're still getting too much from this, though. We need to fix this. Okay, we won our war against Burgundy, taking over Picardy. A little bit of a nice state. Not, of course, their best state, but it's got a couple of Anglois pops in it, and it doesn't have any French pops or anything, so it's not gonna contribute to our problems, I'm pretty sure. We should have a couple steel mills. Let's subsidize these real quick. Also, let's maybe go sulfite pulping. I think we have sulfur in our country. We've got sulfur. Let's maybe build a couple of sulfur mines. We need to put some violent suppression down in Midlands. We can try to use that as a good state to build in. And then once we got the sulfur, we should be able to have pretty profitable sulfur pulping on our paper mills, which is good. The great health taxes event, we can get 30% extra enactment chance from this. Also, we can start building more construction, which we're definitely going to do. We already lowered taxes down to medium. Going past medium isn't nearly as good a value. Scandinavia sides against Burgundy. Definitely love to see that. Okay, we just got our first mandate. We're going to go food standardization, hoping this will help improve our SOL because our pops will have a little bit more money they can spend, or the value of the agriculture they produce will go down. At least one of those things will happen, probably both. It looks like our turmoil is sort of lifting. You can see here, turmoil in Provençal states has gone quite low, and that's because if you look at the map, quite a few of our Provençal states actually have no turmoil, not enough to give penalties. I don't know if it still gives penalties for the total revolution, but at least it's not enough to give construction penalties in these three states, which is pretty good given that at least this state has zero anglois people or zero non-Provençal and French, whereas this state, for example, it has anglois and Roman, which both didn't get any radicals, so it's quite a bit more unfair compared to the other one, which is actually just 100% Provençal and French and has managed to stop having too many radicals. Our legitimacy is climbing up quite good. We can go ahead and bring the armed forces into government, I guess. Oh, we shouldn't have done that. We should have exiled these guys first and then it swayed them to anglois. But actually, I don't think it matters because we're actually running plus 4.2 here anyway, which is plenty for this. At least as long as you're running like 3.1, you're kind of good. I think last run I was having some sort of problem where combined popularity was giving me almost zero. I'm not really sure why this time it's giving me so much more. Okay, we're down to only getting plus 0.3 on total revolution, which is very good. Get this down to like 0.2, that's going to be significantly more safe, but at this point, it's already fairly safe, which is pretty nice. Is it possible we could do a defensive pact or something with these guys to get a subject here? I don't think so, unless our relations are like close to getting up another level. I mean, yeah, unless they flip genial, I don't think we can. Let's try it, I guess. We'll wait for an obligation. Oh, we just passed our law. That's public health insurance? Yeah, I'll start subbing that up, I guess. Let's see, did they flip genial or anything? No, so yeah, they're probably not gonna be willing to become our subject. We'll stay in the war, I guess, because we don't want to get negative 50 with them. And we'll start passing laissez-faire next. Or we should have done religious schools, maybe? I don't know. The elections are going super in favor of this party. I've been picking all the options that give this party more momentum because it's like by far our biggest party, and so trying to split the vote with the liberals is going to be pretty bad. Even though the liberals do contain our country leader, it's just going to be better this way, I think. Unless we could go on like wealth voting or something. Okay, well, unfortunately, we do get a new event to give us more radicals. We can get French and Provençal or English. We'll click the English, I guess. I'm going to declare war on Provence because they have some stuff once they research nationalism, which will let them create radicals in our Provençal states, which we definitely do not want to have happen. If that happens, we will be in big trouble. Okay, we got Provence as a new state for us. Very nice. Oh, this has a lot of Provençal radicals now. I don't know if that was good then. Maybe that was a bad idea. By the way, in case you're wondering why these aren't starting secessions, I'm pretty sure it's because that they have very low support within their culture and religion. I have no clue why they have such terrible levels of support. Like, if you look at the pop, it's getting absolutely crushed by literacy for some reason. Like 90% of these are getting crushed by literacy. I have no clue how they're getting such terrible modifiers from literacy. This pop only has 2.5% literacy. I guess that's what happens. Oh, this pop's only 1 SOL. Okay. But if you look at some other reasonable pop, I'm pretty sure they still are not going to have that much wanting to join this national movement. Yeah, the vast majority gets canceled out by literacy, even on this pop that has like 16% literacy. Well, this is a great event. We can get 5% loyalists in French, Provençal, and English. That's really good. It will reduce anglois ideology by 10, but I've checked and we're quite a bit ahead of schedule on anglois ideology, so we can definitely take a loss of like 10 of it. That should, yeah, that gets rid of like 1,000,000 radicals, which should be pretty good. We just accepted an extradition request to ourselves, by the way. I have no clue why we were receiving those. This is the second campaign of the dual monarchy we've been getting those. Not sure what causes that. We're down to only getting 0.2 from Total Revolution, which is very nice. Okay, we get laissez-faire in, which is pretty nice. I do kind of want a wood company, or iron company is good too. We'll go for that, I guess. Okay, we're gonna go religious schools next. That's gonna be pretty good because our literacy is kind of terrible right now. The Great War of Chinese Unification, Sichuan or later Ming, who will come out on top? It's basically guaranteed it's gonna be later Ming, I think. But we shall see. Oh, well, that's what I thought, but then I realized that Sichuan is being supported by Burgundy. Also, the Holy Britannian Empire got created. This is a bit of an interesting thing where we get negative 75% migration attraction, but also they declare annex war against like everyone on the planet, I think, or something like that. Yeah, they declared an annex like literally everyone on the planet, and we all get into a cut down to size war against them. It's pretty interesting. Might try playing these guys at some point, you know, it could be fun to try to get strong enough and then annex every GP in a single war. I don't know. So I've done the math, and at our current rate of growing tensions, we're going to hit around 90 tensions before this time's out, so we should be pretty good. We got a new mandate. Food Standardization 2 actually doesn't really help much with this, but I guess we'll take it anyway, just because we do want to head towards Food Standardization 3, which is going to be pretty good for that +1 SOL. I'm going to reduce autonomy on Plantagenia. That's going to be, yeah, 17k Diplopact is pretty nice. Okay, we got religious schools. I'm going to start building up a bit more government administrations, I think. I guess we'll go lowest upkeep now that we got all the tax capacity fixed. We do want to level up our literacy a little bit here. Literacy is pretty bad right now. Although upgrading literacy does mean more minimum expected, I think we're now quite a bit ahead of our minimum expected, so that should be fine for the most part. Oh, we're only at the point where we're now getting less than 0.2. This number rounds a lot, so we can't figure out the exact number without adding these up, which I'm kind of too lazy to do right now. Actually, it's going to be 0.32 minus 0.16, so it's going to be 0.16 actually. That's actually very easy math, so I actually didn't have to do that. Assuming that I actually got those numbers right. Yeah, it should be that, I think. Something's going on which is causing Sichuan and later Ming to just white piece consistently. Later Ming is bankrupt, so that could have something to do with it. Also, Guangdong is bankrupt. Countries are very poor because they've got the recently conquered modifier, which when you stack it with the taxation capacity penalties on a lot of these provinces means that you sometimes effectively earn zero money. Like they have negative 95% total tax collection in Shandong or whatever. That's very bad. I'm gonna build roughly 20 universities in Ile-de-France, and that's gonna be nice to give us some more innovation because we aren't actually at our innovation cap right now, and even if we are at our innovation cap, we could go into some tech spread. That would be nice, although we are getting negative 20% tech spread right now to angry rural folk and censorship, which isn't great. Okay, we got a new company slot, so we're going to slot in the wood company. It's always a pretty solid company choice. I may have forgotten to spend my infamy for a second. I don't know how long I forgot to spend it, but surely it couldn't be that long. We're going to go for protectorate on Amazonia. I don't really want to do too many I don't want to do too many unrecognized countries while we are not having civilizing mission yet, because without that, kind of bad value to take out the unrecognized people. Amazonia seems like a decent one, although maybe we should try to invite it to our block. I don't know. So it turns out I can't really actually manage to land Amazonia. They've got a little bit too good of defenses. Yeah, they don't even have skirmish. How is their defense this high? I guess they've got elites. So we're just gonna cancel our landing on these guys. We're gonna go for Ceylon, and then maybe we'll try to invade the free states of Equinoxia to get a border or something. I don't know. That would be a decent choice. How much infamy is it to conquer this? 15? But we've got way past our colonial growth cap in colonial growth. I should create more colonies, I guess. Do Kenya and this, that should be good. Actually, we're gonna need one more, I think. Sure, we'll go here. That seems good. Okay, we got another mandate. We're gonna go food 3. That's gonna give us another SOL point, leading even more radicals, bringing our loyalists actually above radicals. Now we're getting we're getting under 0.1 per month from Total Revolution now. I'm gonna try to protectorate Guangdong because they have the unified China strategy and they've got some decisions and stuff to build a unified China for all these countries, I think. I'm not 100% sure if those still exist if they're a subject, but we're going to try at least see if we can get a full China as a subject thing. That would be pretty nice if we could do it. I guess we'll add some revoke claims to make them more likely to back down. Whatever it takes to get them to back down would be nice, because otherwise, eliminating them is going to be a little annoying. They do have line infantry, so yeah, it's going to be tough. Okay, they do actually just back down. We love to see it. They lose their unified China strategy, but I think there's still decent chances that these countries will try to declare unified China against these guys or whatever. Speaking of which, no, this is Sichuan and later Ming actually. We want to try to get one of these guys to win, I think, so that they can then do this. So, Sichuan is not bankrupt, but later Ming is. Oh, there's actually a war Guangdong declared against later Ming. Okay, well we're gonna support Guangdong in this, and that's gonna be good. And then I guess we'll support or we actually can't support the later Ming. We should have. Okay, it's fine. We're just gonna move our troops over to try to kill later Ming before Sichuan can, because this is gonna be amazing if we can get this done. Okay, we gotta get this done. Very nice, very nice. Oh, also the later Ming capital is actually Formosa, so let's maybe try to do a naval invasion on that, because I bet that's gonna be kind of hard to reach without a naval invasion. In fact, it's gonna be impossible to reach without a naval invasion. What was Connor thinking when he said pretty hard? That's impossible to reach an island without naval invading it, you know? Okay, we occupied the island of Formosa. I guess we'll try to land Beijing if we can stop having this fleet be engaged in battle. Yeah, in just a second here, the later Ming is going to accept getting annexed by Guangdong. And yeah, that's a pretty huge protector we've gotten. Very nice. I hope that Sichuan or Guangdong will declare on each other at some point, and then of our full unified China. The evil Scandinavians think they can try to conquer Orissa. I cannot be accepting this evil scam, so I'm gonna join the Orissans in exchange for, you know, liberating Scotland from the Scandinavians. That seems like a pretty fair deal. You know, I get to have Scotland effectively become my protectorate. Not yet, but you know, they should be pretty easy to annex their protectorate or whatever after this. And in exchange, the Orissans get to live. Making good progress into the lowlands, it looks like. They have war reps, but they'll be fine because these are incorporated states. I think in some past versions of the mod, these were a separate country called Scotland, but they are now just integrated into Scandinavia. At some point, they changed that in the mod. Um, Getting Scotland liberated is going to be a nice little reduction in power for these guys. Like, what, 3 million GDP out of their 20 million? That's a solid, like, 15% of their economy. Oh, they actually landed us. That's a little bit annoying, but should be able to hold it pretty easily. Okay, now that we kicked him out of our country, oh, this army actually lost its general, but we'll just try to naval invade. Is there like a, let's see, this is actually like, almost all one big strategic region, but like Pomerania isn't in that, so let's go for Pomeranian naval invasion. That'll be good. There's an uprising from Burgundy, creating Burgundy Utrecht, but unfortunately we don't have good enough relations with it to protectorate it. Also, it's a major power actually. We want to try to help this guy's kind of busy right now, so I think we'll just accept Burgundy Utrecht is going to die. The Scandinavians have actually almost landed Orissa. We need to send this navy over here and then send some troops to try to defend this because, yeah, that doesn't look good. They're going to get in very soon, but our navy should arrive in time to stop them, right? Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. Not good. This army have like any... No, this army doesn't have any auxiliary troops, so it's going to take forever to build land. Can we arrive there in time, please? Why can we not use you? You're in a battle thing. Maybe we fight this. Oh, we're losing that battle even. That's not good. Well, I guess Orissa's gonna get conquered then, but we'll still liberate Scotland, so not for nothing. Okay, now liberate Scotland. It looks like it's occupied by us. Is that just gonna keep? No, it's fake occupation. It doesn't actually work up devastation or anything. It just looks a little bit odd. We could try to invite these guys to our power block. Or the Kalmar Union is actually getting more leverage on them, but yeah, that's actually a bit annoying. The Kalmar Union is getting more leverage. Okay, it looks like even though they're our protectorate, they're still willing to use their unified China button, because we do get a war against Sichuan, which we will join them unconditionally, I guess, and we'll send over, I guess, like 50 battalions to help them out. We're getting English radicals due to releasing Scotland. Maybe that was not a good idea. Actually, I don't know if that's due to releasing Scotland or not, but I'm guessing it is. Right? Surely that is. It's not just didn't just happen to be like the year we released Scotland. What happened and why does the VOC now own half of the Netherlands? It's getting more and more. Is why did they just grant a million states to the Dutch East Indies or the Burgundian East Indies? This doesn't make any sense. Why would they do this? Are they thinking they're too weak to handle these guys as subjects? I'm so confused. Okay, we're gonna start making advanced research principles. We wanna get our research up, you know, we're only producing 98 because that's our innovation cap right now, but we could definitely do more. We should probably build more bureaucracy so we can get up to level 3 education. That would be good. Well, now that total revolution is like about to time out, there's literally no way this is gonna hit 100 in time at this point. We're gonna go up on taxes a little bit, try to run a bit of a better balance, and get ready for steel frame buildings, which is about to be unlocked. And this is pretty good. Start going like mechanized workshops and stuff next. Slowly, you're gonna start upgrading the steel frame buildings, which is always a great swap up. You know, you get like it's like 25 to 20% more efficient per dollar or something you spend on construction. It's a pretty huge upgrade. We'll swap up one of our biggest construction sectors up to steel frame immediately. Start building some of the good requirements for this, and we should just be pretty good, really. Wait, what? Elizabeth rolled the cautious trait? That's insane. They didn't have that originally. They just gained that over time. That's crazy. Oh, our subject actually formed China now. It looks like they're gaining quite a bit of liberty desire. Yeah, they have too big of a relative prestige multi, but they're not going to be able to actually defeat us in an independence war, I'm pretty sure. So we should be good. I mean, they do have actually a lot of power projection, but I don't think they're going to try. We'll see. Maybe they will. I'm realizing Gelre is unincorporated, so I'm thinking maybe it was caused by the uprising, unincorporating the states for Burgundy, and then they were like, okay, let's just grant these to the Netherlands or whatever. Maybe the Netherlands was using demand state, but surely the AI shouldn't be accepting those demand states. I don't know. I'm gonna conquer Dynamese, Western Guangdong, just in case the Chinese get any ideas of rising up. This will be good to have a land border with China. We got a Burgundian secession. Okay. A little annoying, but it's fine. Doesn't have that much stuff. Okay, we managed to land in Dynam. Also, we're getting very close to completing the anglois ideology. We're 87% of the way there. We're running a pretty severe convoy issues. We need to build a bit more ports in order to supply, you know, our puppet of China. We also need to deal with Amazonia at some point. I think they might be in default by now. Been at war with them for a while. Looks like they're not quite in default yet. They're in 4.2 million debt out of a GDP of 4 million. Oh, they've been rising a lot in GDP recently. Let's maybe just try to nail them. We'll see how it goes. Oh, we actually managed to land these guys? Or no, our subject managed to land them at Plantageniac. I guess we were holding them in a battle or whatever. Okay, well, I guess that's nice. Okay, you can get Advanced Features 3. That's always a nice principle to get. You get your 30 extra max innovation, up to 136 now. We're gonna go conquer some stuff in South Africa. It's been, you know, a little bit. Gotta go back to the classic South African conquest, clearly. It's a great little place to conquer. And there is some gold here. You can see in Vrystaat there's some gold. Transvaal's got some gold. I don't know if the rest has gold. It might have more gold. Oh yeah, this state has 0. That doesn't make sense. I guess there must be some in like a split state. Transurania has some more. So yeah, quite a bit of gold over here we can try to conquer. Oh, they just back down to us, giving us their main state instead of fighting on? Okay, that's interesting. China demands Guangxi. It's 23 liberties there. I mean, that's quite good. But it wouldn't really jump them down that much. And they still have this huge relative prestige thing, so we're just going to decline it. We'll see if they try to declare independence or anything. I think we should have... We've got a little bit weak of an army, so it'll be a little bit tough. But it looks like China's right now helping out Dynam subjects getting independence. And they are actually conquering some territory, which is nice to see. I declared a protectorate war against Bjornia because we want to get up to 10 power block members so we can get our 4th mandate. Also, there's a war going on between Amazonia and Lotharingia, seemingly. It seems like it's an indirect war, and that's why we weren't able to get involved. Okay, Bjornia just backs down. Love to see it. So, we're almost in with anglois ideology. I think this might be our final tick here, because we're 99.9%. Yep, 101%. The Anglo-French monarchy gives us 20% Anglois loyalists, 20% French loyalists, 20% Provençal loyalists, 30% English loyalists. Oh, it's 30% French as well, actually. That's going to be pretty huge. Brings us from... Oh, it also gives us cultural exclusion, and I think it gives us homelands. We go from 8.5 million radicals, 4 million loyalists, to 10 million loyalists and 4 million radicals. And cultural exclusion might mean we're going to get some more mass migrations now, so that's going to be pretty nice. And of course, we'll accept pops more. Probably start incorporating any states we can, because we better now. Suez service can be done soon, so we'll get that bureaucracy back. Is there anything else we need to do? I think we're good now. Very nice to see that. Actually, let's see if the homelands apply. I think they're supposed to give us homelands. They're not on those, maybe? Yeah, all these are now anglois homelands instead of being French homelands or whatever. All these great anglois homelands. Unfortunately, we do have a little bit too much acceptance actually to get assimilated. If we could swap to like total separation, we could probably assimilate them, which would be kind of cool, but that pass looks pretty difficult. What's our Protestant rights movement political strength? I assume it's not very large. It's only 1%. Probably time to get the Radical Party into government now, though, and then start trying to pass, no, not parliamentary republic yet, but, like census suffrage or whatever, so we can actually get some votes for these guys so that we can have a good government, because our ruler is an industrialist. The Burgundian East Indies actually formed the Netherlands. That's crazy. The Anglo-French Constitution. Yeah, let's go. Easy census suffrage insta-pass. We love it. That's a great event. I don't know what countries it's... I think it might be actually not exclusive to certain countries, actually. It's a pretty nice event to just instantly get census suffrage. I don't know why I thought that was a country-specific event for a little bit. I guess it does have your country name in it, but I don't know. Well, now with the census suffrage passed, you get more of our legitimacy from votes, and since this party got so little of the votes, we have to go to the other party again. Get the Suez Isthmus surveyed. Coercion is the simplest form of persuasion. So true. You know, I kind of want to take Palestine because it has a good monument, but also it has a terrible monument because it gives plus 75% Catholic Church political strength, which is kind of terrible. I'm gonna go for Protectorate on Greece. We need to get up to 10 power block members so we can get our 4th mandate slot, which I think we're gonna be going colonial offices with, so we can get some super cheap, unrecognized countries like in India. There's a ton of stuff we could conquer. I'm gonna put a bunch of universities in the queue because I do think that that's gonna be pretty useful. Maybe like a couple 50 stack unis should get built probably. We can start actually tech spreading because we are a little bit behind on tech compared to where I would like to be right now. So there's a war between Scotland and Scandinavia, or they're trying to annex Scotland, which is kind of unacceptable. Can't get a subject sway normally, but we're 57 points away. So we're gonna swap our government real quick over to the Radical Party. And that should help us out a little bit. Now we're 30 points away. So we're going to sway for an obligation. And that's going to be good. We're going to get an obligation. Now we're going to form a defensive pact with Scotland real quick. And then we're going to leave the war. Wait, what? I was trying to finish this Greece war ASAP so we could do this, but apparently we're actually able to do this now. Okay. And then we can just ask for become subject. Or wait, we're 0 away. You're kidding? We can just get more military power protection, actually. Okay. Just spam some conscripts, and that should be enough to do this. No. Oh, yes. There we go. Plus 17. Okay. And, yep, we get a Scotland Protectorate. Alright. Very nice. Very nice. Enlist more troops, put them to defend Scotland. Anyway, we're gonna also get a Greece Protectorate, and that should mean, yep, we now got 10 members, so we can get colonial offices. Our great new universities have got us up to 134 tech spread, over half coming from unspent innovation. Our 500 innovation. Love to see 500 innovation. Quite a lot, and we're still building even more universities to get our innovation up even higher. Pretty nice. Oh, they're in our country. Should probably defend against that. That would be good. Don't want to just get randomly occupied by the Scandinavians. Oh, they managed to land in Scotland as well? That's very bad. We need to try to defend this as much as possible. To get the people out of Scotland, because, yeah, that's going to make us able to cap, I believe. Or no, because of their treaty port demand, but we do want to try to get them out so that we can cap them with our revoke Claymore goals actually being enforced. The Belgians have actually landed and taken the capital. Nice. Let's go try to get Pskov, because we do have a regime change in Pskov war goal from someone from Belgium. Oh, Belgium's out of the war, but we did lose our Pskov stuff, but since Belgium's out of the war, they're capping anyway. Also, they've landed in Normandy, but we should be able to contain that landing for long enough for them to cap, I think. Okay, yeah, the Scandinavians are going to cap, and then lose their claims on Scotland or whatever. We can just capitulate in this war, because we do not care about humiliating Lüneburg. Looks like Avignon got free from the Italian Confederation, so I guess I'm gonna go conquer it now. That seems like some nice territory. The Ottomans are gonna protect Avignon. That would be a little bit cursed. The Belgian Confederation is trying to protect Avignon. Looks like we have no return CBs or anything from Plantagenet, unfortunately. So, guess they're gonna get off free. I guess we could lib country from them. Yeah, maybe we should do that actually. How much GDP is in this one? I guess we'll liberate the southern one because I think they're currently like way too. Yeah, they're currently a great power, so they're definitely too big to drop to minor. So Spain has an independence war that they're fighting. We're going to take either Cuba or New Toledo here because that's pretty nice. Let's take a look at what those countries are like on the map. We need to actually look at their pops as well. How much they cost to transfer is kind of big thing. 1 million pops, 2 million GDP. And what's the transfer cost? The New Toledo is actually cheaper, so yeah, I guess we'll transfer subject Cuba as our request here. Nice. Well, looks like we're gonna run out of infamy in a second here, so I'm just gonna start declaring wars in South India, because, as we are half British, or we actually started out as Britain, I think, in the history of this universe, and then conquered France, so we're basically 100% British. We gotta do what the real British did and conquer India, clearly. It must be done. In a little bit, we're gonna get Colonial Offices 3, which will make this even infamy cheaper. We do actually have to level up our Colonial Offices institution, though, so let's quickly build some government administrations that we can do that with. Also, we need more infrastructure. We need so much infra. Yeah, I'm going to start enacting proportional taxation. It's going to be a pretty significant jump up in money. I also just recently added a ton more consumption taxes because our budget isn't too great. So we get an event, and let's just create a regime change play against Spain. I'm a little bit scared this is going to give us a ton of infamy, so we're not going to do that. I do not want to have 1 trillion infamy from trying to regime change Spain. Like, how much infamy would that be, I wonder? Assuming that it actually does cost infamy and doesn't just give it to me for free, it'd be 25. That's quite a lot. Get a mass migration from Russia. Nice. Except not Russia, it's Rus. Because they haven't actually unified Russia for some reason. Should really do that. Well, we're about to have Colonial Offices 4, or Colonial Affairs 4, which means the infamy cost is going to be quite low now. Yeah, only 7.2 infamy per province right now. It's going to get even lower once we get multilateral alliances and malaria prevention, but we're still a little bit away from that. We're text spreading a lot of text, though. That's reducing our ahead of time penalty with our, like nearly 200 text spread. That's really helping out our country right now. Oh, the Rus are trying to unify Russia. We'll see if that goes well for them or not. We can't actually join on the Rus' side because we have too bad of relations, and we've got a truce with Scandinavia. But I've got hopes for you, but you're not gonna win this probably. But I wish you would. If only you had the support of, a couple of these Russian unification people, then maybe you would have more of a chance. You don't even have like Volgoda and stuff on your side. What are you doing? The AI actually offering a good deal for once? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's so great. Okay, we finally passed prop tax. I think that means we're back to making positive balances, I think. We've unlocked not quite at the opium in India yet. We need to conquer Bonga for that. And this I don't know why Bengal has been renamed. We should probably go for that at some point. How much infamy is it? It's 7 per state. Getting very close to multilateral alliances. Actually, we have enough for malaria prevention. Let's go for that real quick. I'm gonna over-research it a little bit, but yeah, we can start going for level 5 colonial affairs now, and we can try to colonize as much of this stuff as possible. Oh, Vrilland has claims trying to block us from colonizing. We need to go conquer Vrilland. Sorry, I wanted to go invade India, but unfortunately, you're in my way of colonizing Africa, so you are going to have to get full annexed now. Fortunately, our most legitimate government is now only 29 legitimacy. Not very great. We could exile the landowners here and then try to go for a passive freedom of conscience. That seems kind of pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, we got another traditionalist. 33% stall is pretty bad. Do we have all these rights movements helping us out right now? If so, I think we're gonna go for it. Otherwise, we're gonna try the total separation scam. It looks like we do. So yeah, we'll just try to go for freedom of conscience here, I guess, because that'll be pretty nice to have a less strong church and actually be able to change our PMs and stuff off from the church ones. Then maybe we could conquer Palestine if we want. It does give like a lot of church strength though. But, influence is nice, minting is a little nice, authority is nice. Oh, we got our multilateral alliances plus minus maximum from malaria prevention and stuff. So now only spending 4.4 infamy per province. We love to see it. We're gonna conquer all of Bengal like that, and then start working towards Hindustan probably soon. Try to get these guys over to South India along with a navy to try to land Bengal. Looks like their army isn't, or we probably want to just try to get through some other guys maybe. Oh, but we have to go through Malwa to get over there unless we want to fight Scandi to take Orissa. I'm going to reduce autonomy on Scotland. They've got too many high defense troops to land, I think, right now. I mean, actually, do have shrapnel artillery, but only like 10 in this army. This army is better. Let's try to land with this army, I guess. Might be able to land. Depends on combat weapon stuff. I think it's got a decent shot. Looks like we actually are successfully landing into Bengal. Nice. Okay, we passed freedom of conscience. How's our landing going, by the way? Oh, it's not going too well. I think we need to try to ban slavery next, because we can't pass multiculturalism or anything without slavery. Oh, I just realized we have cultural exclusion plus slavery right now because of that event giving us cultural exclusion. That's pretty nice. Well, unfortunately, they just formed a social democratic party, the trade unions intelligentsia, and now I can't have a legitimate government with them, which is annoying. I guess we'll just do this until the election happens. Otherwise, the slavery ban law is just gonna get forced canceled. Oh, we were failing our invasion of Bengal, but they got panicked retreat, so we're succeeding again. Also, they're defaulting now, so that's pretty good. Have we unlocked military statistics yet so we can go up to level 3 PM? Not quite. I think we're just gonna conquer some stuff from Scandinavia here, because they are, making it a little bit tricky to get into Bengal here, so that's kind of unacceptable. Sure, let's take Ceylon. We conquer, like, Sind and stuff, maybe? How much infamy is that gonna be? Is it worth it? Probably not, to be honest. Could we liberate a country from that? Maybe we could, no, Sind already exists, so I don't think we're gonna liberate anything from that. I don't see anything obviously there. We could like lib Norway and stuff, I guess. But that seems kind of mean to the Scandinavians. Let's just take some war reps. Yeah, this seems like a fair piece. Let's try to take over Orissa so we can get into Bengal for the most part. Oh, we managed to land in Bengal right as we declared the war. Great. Oh, apparently West Bengal is not actually their capital. Great. What is it? It's East Bengal. Well, I guess we should have tried to land that instead, but we didn't. I'm gonna go for a little bit of a landing in on Pomerania. Should be, or actually, it seems like they have nothing in Scandinavia, so I guess we can just go for, like, Zealand or whatever. That seems kind of easy. We take out, their occupation, their holding of Orissa as well. I think, oh, we actually created 2 fleets for this thing on accident. I hope I promoted the right admiral. I did not promote the right admiral, I'm pretty sure. That was a bad decision. Oops. Okay, we landed in Zealand. Very good. I guess we can move over these 10 guys to help defend the other side of this front. We just need to hold this a little bit while Scandinavia caps out of the war. Okay, we've annexed Bengal. Oh, we actually are running out of bureaucracy to incorporate with now. Guess we can start building up tax capacity in this state because we actually have an enormous amount of GDP here. Yeah, so much GDP is located in this state right now. Oh no, we're getting severely occupied. I do not like that very much. We should probably get some conscripts going to try to stop this. Oh, we have peasant levies, so we can't really get good conscripts. A bit annoying. We should get as many conscripts as we can, though, because, yeah, that's not very good. That's a lot of our country occupied right now. So much occupation. Very, very bad. We need to push through this super fast if possible. Scandinavians, there's no way they've got a better army than us, right? They've only got 3,000 power projection versus our 7,000. Yeah, they're just going here because we don't have troops here right now. Let's just try to land in there and stuff. Sure. Or we could even enforce on them actually by just trying to land them. Counter landing? That could work. Yeah, these 10 guys go for a counter landing on Zealand. Okay, we finally deoccupied the capital. It's crazy how many times we've gotten alienated and I just haven't been paying enough attention to stop it in this campaign. I should, not stop doing that. That would be great if I could stop doing that. That would be very good. But we should be getting into Zealand soon. Actually, they've got enough defenders, so maybe not. Let's just go for a landing on Ceylon. I'm pretty sure that's what we need. We need Scandinavian Ceylon and then some more reparations. There's Scandinavian Ceylon. Okay, we're winning against Scandinavia. And send them a peace deal now. Very nice. We get a connection over to Bengal now, and we can start incorporating the rest of Bengal. I'm going to declare on Aragon to liberate the two Sicilies, and I think we'll also conquer the little bit they have from Navarra. But the main thing we're doing this for is they're supporting the independence of our subject, Aquitania. That's 10 infamy for that. Are you kidding me that that's 10 infamy for that tiny thing? Is that worth it? Not really. But the plan is we're going to enforce middle access on China into this so that they can stop being support independence. And we do want to start getting China's lobby desire down a little bit. I started funding lobbies in them and bankrolling and stuff, so we can hopefully start getting their lobby desire down. Oh, Austria and the Belgian Confederation have sided against us. The Belgian Confederation managed to annex the person we released. Unfortunate. Did they actually pay infamy for that, or they just get it for free? It looks like they did pay infamy for that, luckily. But still not great. We'll, like, take some Belgian war reps, I guess. We got wood a little expensive. Can we, build more wood? That would be good. So I just did the defensive pact join for an obligation strat. We didn't even have to absolve the obligation, but yeah, we get our we get our subject with Macedonia. Love to see it. I'm gonna try to build a bunch of opium here. We've got huge construction malices. We should really try to get more violent suppression decrees going. Stop road maintenance in the Midlands, and we can probably remove some of these consumption taxes that are a little bit less profitable. Just to try to use some more violent suppressions over here. Yeah, an interesting thing about opium is I think it's going to be incredibly overpowered in 1.9 because you can do a diplomatic treaty to export something to someone, and the money from that export goes to the national treasury based on the difference between the price in your market and the price in their market. So if it's worth 50 in your market, which is base price, and if it's worth the maximum of plus 75% in their market, it'll be 87.5, meaning you'd earn 37.5 per week per opium you're exporting per week, which, let's say if you had 5,000 opium you're exporting, of course, we don't have that much, but I think that's a fairly reasonable amount of opium to be exporting. If you're earning like 30 ducats per thing, that's going to be like 150,000 national income, which I think if you had a pretty small GDP, which I think you could have when you're doing this, that could be pretty significant. Oh, I forgot to call China into the war. I'm such a fool. For reference on how small 5,000 opium actually is, a max level opium plantation here of 324 levels would give us 16,000 opium, not even counting for throughput. If we count for throughput, that's going to be what, like 25,000 opium or something? You got 60% throughput going here. That would be pretty insane to have, like 500,000 national income if we could export this to someone. Of course, no one will have that much opium demand. China might get somewhat close, but not going to be quite that good. You can see opium is actually very profitable for us because, you know, China has huge demand for it because I think their pops are probably obsessed with opium. Actually, we can take a look at that. No, they actually aren't. I don't know why it's really expensive in China. I guess it's just because they have worse mappy. I guess it's just, you know, super profitable buildings. I guess intoxicants might just be valuable in our market right now. We're going to be having lots of fun with opium. You can see 25 productivity. That's real good on agriculture industry. That's like super construction efficient as well. Okay, we get a Bengali uprising. It's not that bad though. You know, that'll just mean we have less radicals in Bengal. I will also cancel our incorporation, I guess, but it's not too bad. I think it's time to go fight Hindustan, conquer Delhi, and of course more of Hindustan. Luckily our ruler hasn't died yet. They're 70 years old. Once they die, we're going to have to go look for a way to get a new cautious, because, yeah. Wait, why can we not conquer the other? Oh, do we not have an interest in? Do not have an interest in the Indus. Okay, well, we'll put an interest there. So we can conquer some of the other subjects over there. Looks like the China revolt is almost dealt with, so we can probably abandon that to try to focus more on dealing with Hindustan here. Oh, a couple of people are supporting Hindustan. Burgundy is supporting Hindustan. Okay, could take return Sinai. Let's not do that. Let's conquer Malwa. And then I think we want to try to take treaty ports here. So the West Bengal treaty port. We can take one more there. Okay. Good, good, good. We probably need to find an army over here in Europe to beat Burgundy, or else probably just kind of screwed. Need to send this army back to Europe. We can beat Burgundy. I'm gonna start spamming a ton of ports because we are lacking a bit of port or a bit of convoys due to our shipping of our huge army, and also port connections are getting really large as we expand our GDP overseas. Oh, we're actually losing to Burgundy over here. That's not very good. Let's go on the defensive, I guess, and we can try to conscript up even more skirmish. I'm so confused about what's going on in Slavery Band. We're getting advances, but they're not increasing our success chance at all. Okay, we're almost done occupying Delhi. Have we pieced out Burgundy yet? Not quite. Wait, what? I thought we should be occupying the treaty ports. No? What? Atacama Treaty Port. Where is this? Atacama Treaty Port. Where is this? Oh, that is not something I should have put as a wiggle. But we are making good progress. No, we're not actually winning these battles because they have good enough defense and we don't have enough shrapnel. But someone's naval invading the state, so we should be good. This arrives very soon, actually. Okay, so Burgundy will start capping in a second. Yep, this army just landed, and now Burgundy's capping. This is gonna be a huge increase in pops to annex Hindustan. Yep, we're up to 275 million pops now. Also, we get all these other guys as subjects, which is kind of nice. I don't know if we really like that too much, because, you know, can't really annex them as easily as subjects, but it does give us some authority from authority per subject, which is pretty useful. Also, we're running huge negative government bureaucracy now, so let's just spam the administrations over in Bengal. I think it's time to start going multiculturalism. We do want to exile this industrialist real quick first, though, so that we can have the stall chance not counted. Yeah, now we're down to 22% stall chance, 16% success chance. Not too bad. I'm gonna grant China Anglo-French Western Guangdong, and then I'm gonna reduce autonomy on them. Now we got good old China as a puppet. Love to have that. They're paying us 110K, because we're basically paying that all back to them in bankroll and fund lobbies. Oh, their anti dual monarchy lobby is gone, so we can stop funding lobbies, I guess. Yeah, that seems like a good little way to save a bit of money. I'm gonna protectorate Aragon real quick. That'll be nice. You know, it's only 34 infamy for Aragon. That seems like a pretty solid deal. Would be a crime to miss up on, I think. Mobilize our army for this easy war against the weak Aragonese. Japan might actually join them. That would be weird. Okay, we can now send our peace deal, and Aragon is now a protectorate. To see that. Okay, we got multiculturalism. Love to get multiculturalism. The greatest law in the history of laws. No, my great cautious ruler died. I was planning to go to war with Burgundy. Bit of a mistake there. I want to try to abdicate this guy. He is a landowner, so we don't really like him at all. Probably try to either abdicate him or try to pass parliamentary republic. How big is our royalist movement? It's 10% support. Fairly large. Might create a unwinnable civil war. Is there any movement we could realistically abdicate to a parliamentary republic with? I guess you don't need to abdicate to parliamentary. We could abdicate to the royalist movement, or no, this landowner guy won't take that abdication. Maybe we just try to pass parliamentary. What's our loyalist amount right now? We don't have too many radicals for this, right? Yeah, it's gonna get us over 100 activism. Let's go for it, and we'll see how bad the revolution is. We're gonna exile the... Oh, we can't exile the armed forces guy quite yet. That's annoying. That's very annoying, actually. Okay. Well, we're gonna see how bad the civil war is. Okay, I think this is a winnable civil war. It takes our capital, some of the southwest of dual monarchy, and then it takes like all of our stuff in India. So I mean, you know, that's kind of nice. We'll get instant incorporation on it, so I'm kind of fine with doing the civil war. I think we can probably beat it. Okay, I think the royalist movement's about to begin. We got like 1 week left on the civil war, and that's gonna... Oh no, it goes to 99.9. But this event can give us 10%. Okay, and now we're gonna have a royalist civil war, I think. Yes. Okay, we get 136 Italians. They get 248. Not exactly what you want to see, but, you know, we do have our subjects, like China and stuff. So, you know, it's not over yet. Like, China actually has a huge army, and they can make me fight in India, so that would be good. Also, we've got loads of conscripts, although a lot of those are from their territory, so I don't know how those actually work like that. We're just gonna hope that they work well. They have 105 guys in their capital, so we probably want to try to defend that specifically, because that's probably going to be where a large fraction of their army is, and then probably gonna have some guys over in India. Yes, this is their capital, not over in India. Where is our capital? Our capital is Brittany, okay? It's not the worst. If it was in like Orleans or whatever, that would be quite bad, but Brittany is definitely not terrible. Burgundy sided with the revolt. Not ideal for sure. We wanted to attack Burgundy pretty soon after this, but that's going to make things a bit trickier. We can't always just attack one of their people they have defensive pacts with. Oh, is Italian Confederation in this war against us is 2? That's not ideal for sure. Yeah, Italian Confederation is against us too. Very bad. But we're kind of doing fine. We've got roughly similar numbers of total mobilized troops on both teams because of our great allies. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to push into there. So we should probably actually just like split off some of the guys from this into defending the other front, because I expect that we can probably defend that front, yeah, with significantly less guys. And we should need to try to hold this main front while they slowly cap out over time, and we pass Parliamentary Republic, hopefully. Well, they managed to take Picardy, which connected the front, but Burgundy is about to cap out of the war, and the revolt is slowly capping. We've got a nice little advantage to hold defensively right now. We're barely winning the war. The revolt has lost a lot of GDP. It went from having 588 million to 250 million so far, which is a pretty big fall off in GDP. That is because it was initially market isolated, and now market isolation, makes all the buildings fire and stuff. Okay, after a little bit of time, the revolt is finally coming to an end with this tick. They should be hitting capitulation desire. Yep, there we are. Dual monarchy has been restored. 700 battalions? What? Oh, I guess we're in some wars, so our conscripts haven't demobilized. Let's quickly demobilize some of those. You can see our GDP is significantly lower than before, but it should be able to go up much higher now because all of these states are now fully incorporated, which is pretty huge. We just do need to actually have construction going and stuff, and our GDP should rebound over time, in theory, assuming that there isn't anything that I'm forgetting about, which I don't think there is. Let's see, we're up to 600 million now. I think buildings just need to re-employ, because, the vast majority of our people were in those other states, and they were all market isolated, so that's not very good for them. Okay, we've now passed Parliamentary Republic, which is real nice. Also, our GDP has basically fully rebounded now. I turned on electric sawmills as well, so that's probably helping out a little bit with our GDP rebound. Anyway, we do want to try to find like a trade unions cautious or something that we can get in. Definitely not a reckless. That would not be ideal. Looks like we don't have any trade unions, so I'll go look through various IGs that we can make later. Oh, we actually do have a trade unions. It's actually just already in our agitator pool here. Okay, we're gonna grant leadership to this guy, I guess, and then we swap governments, and now we've got, oh, he's cautious literary. I didn't even realize that. Amazing. Come on. Oh, he's wounded though, so he's gonna die soon, unfortunately. But not that soon. He's only 53. I kind of hate the name your United Republic, but your GDP is crazy. Your GDP. Okay, now our war has escalated. We can go declare on Bossel real quick, and this should call in the Burgundians. Yep. And we're gonna try to take over a bunch of land from Burgundy here, because we've got a cautious ruler, and we've got like 93 infamy to spend, so that's going to be a lot of land we can take from Burgundy with that, I think. Okay, Burgundy's in the war now. Wait, what? Why are we not able to conquer Burgundian land? What? Okay, there we go. It's actually showing now. So we want to start out by conquering Burgundy itself, and then I think next most natural to conquer is going to be Franche-Comté, and then where is it gonna be? Lorraine, and then yeah, let's do Swiss Savoy and primary that just to make them unlikely to back down. Then we can do one more, and I think we got in all these provinces, so we can go for Wallonia. That's gonna be a lot of the territory from Burgundy. Nice. I'm gonna build a giant rice farm in Aude, because that is gonna help out quite a bit with getting our grain shortage solved. We are running positive 20% grain prices right now. We're actually just like not able to push. We need to go pro army really, or I guess mass conscription actually. Let's go mass conscription. That'll be good for winning the war. We just need to better conscript up like thousands, or not thousands, but like a insane amount of shrapnel artillery so that we can actually push. Because now I think our pushes are getting defeated by the fact we don't have shrapnel. I'm gonna start doing a naval invasion on their capital with this pretty big army we've got here. Looks like they've got no defenders for now, so that's good. We're bringing over our navy from a little bit far away, unfortunately, though. Okay, our fleet's arriving, and they just didn't make any defenders, seemingly, so they are just going to get landed, I guess. Yeah, seemingly they just get landed. Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate for Burgundy. Oh, I thought the Flanders was their capital. Where is their capital is actually in Burgundy. It's the market capital that's in Flanders. Interesting. Oh, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth actually formed. Okay, we got mass conscription. Very nice. I'm gonna put a ton of shrapnel artillery conscripts in this army. Oh, the mod mega nerfs mass conscription to cap at 20. Okay. I was confused why I was getting so few conscripts on mass, but it's because mod nerfs it by like 5x. Okay, Burgundy's finally capping because we finally took their capital. It was a bit of a long war, but now they got mass conscription. The tides are finally turning, or not really turning, but they're accelerating, and we're gonna finally be able to defeat the Burgundians. In a couple of weeks, they will surrender. And in a couple days, we will be taking over all this great Burgundian lands. Let's go. Big expansion of the United Republic. It should really be called the Dual Monarchy, but unfortunately, we're no longer a monarchy. It should be called the Dual Republic. Clearly, that would be a much better name than the United Republic. Probably. I don't know. I kind of want to take over Savoy from the Italian Confederation. How long is our truce left with them? 14 months. Italy, Savoy is now my province. You should really consider giving up Savoy. That would be great. You don't really have any other choices because I actually have a bigger military than you, so you should just give it up while you can. We completed stamp out monarchism. We can get the landowners to stop hating monarchy so much. How dare they hate monarchy? Can we peace out? Oh, yeah, we can peace out for conquer Savoy. Nice. Alrighty. Start incorporating Savoy. I'm gonna go for a quick little conquest on Alsace and the Rhineland from the Duchy of the Rhine. Seems like some nice territory to add to our empire. You're West Switzerland. Okay, looks like Belgium doesn't want peace quite yet, but other than that, we are very much winning the war. Unfortunately, Belgium is actually kind of crushing Plantagenet, but once our army arrives, we're trying to do a naval invasion to retake the war goal so that they'll be willing to accept a white peace. Oh, they're willing to accept conquest. Okay. Good, good, good. We get our conquest of the Rhine. Very nice. Yeah, I think we're ending off the run here. Let's take a look and see if there's anything interesting. You can see we didn't actually assimilate much to anglois, mostly because when we were on cultural exclusion after that thing, the French and stuff were too accepted until we would get on total separation, but we never got on total separation. We just got freedom of conscience. So, the French weren't ever unaccepted enough, or the English or whatever. They were never unaccepted enough to assimilate. They're all always in tier 5, which means that they can't assimilate. So the only province we managed to swap over was Champagne, which barely swapped over to Anglois. I assume that's from like Indian immigrants because when they first migrate, they'll have the cultural community penalty to their acceptance, letting them assimilate into Anglois. Also, we got kind of close to Han taking over Lannister. Is there anything else we want to talk about? I guess we can show the GDP graph real quick. We can look at religions and see looks basically the same. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think no, so we're ending off the run here. So, goodbye.